Some developing news as a stolen car investigation on Jacksonville's north side ended with a crash into a business and a person shot while running from police. We first broke this incident to you last night at 11. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office spent hours investigating the scene on Myrtle Avenue that ended with a suspect in critical condition and an officer with a broken nose. Our Zach Wilcox followed up today to get a look at the damaged storefront at the scene.
Now that the massive police scene is cleared, the caution tape is gone, we're able to get in and get our first look at the damage left behind from a car chase that resulted in a car crash here. You can see the exposed brick of this medical building on Myrtle Avenue and the pieces of facade, the styrofoam insulation that's all around this area, and pieces of car as well. And we learned from JSO, from one of the chiefs, that this was really just the middle of this entire sequence of events and what exactly happened after it.
It all started, there was a stolen vehicle reported in the Brentwood area.
JSO Chief Alan Parker says an officer started following the car, ultimately chasing it as the driver sped up on MLK. And when it turned right on Myrtle Avenue,
it hit that vehicle, the officer's vehicle. It careened off of that officer and into a building.
We talked with a funeral home director across the street who said he just came back home with groceries when the commotion started. He told us nothing was happening when he brought the first load of groceries in. Then by the time he came back out for another load, the car was already in the side of the building, surrounded by police cars.
Multiple people took off running. 2 people stayed in the vehicle and were detained.
Parker says officers tracked down one of the people who ran without much of an issue, but the other had his hands in his pockets.
And as he was running, he was yelling, "Get your hands out of your pants, stop reaching in your pants, I'll shoot." And they ended up engaging the suspect. He shot multiple times. The suspect was hit and went down.
Parker says the suspect went in for surgery at a nearby hospital and was in critical condition. Did he ultimately have a gun on him?
So nothing located at this time. That's still part of what they're looking at. They're still doing article searches and things in the area.
He only mentioned one other injury, a broken nose to one of the officers involved in the crash. Now, these 2 businesses, there's a medical building and a salon that seem to be impacted by the car crash. They weren't open on a Sunday, so we weren't able to check in with them, but we did find out from JSO that they had a deadly shooting in the Brentwood area right around the same time as this car was reported stolen in the Brentwood area. So we asked if those 2 events could be related, and the chief mentioned that that's something that they are investigating at this point. On the north side, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.
Now at 11, we're taking a closer look at officer-involved shootings this year involving the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. According to JSO's transparency page, last night's shooting marks the 15th shooting involving one of its officers this year. 10 were deadly. There were 8 throughout the entirety of 2024. 3 of those were deadly. And in 2023, JSO officers were involved in 13 shootings. 9 were deadly.